Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time. We are going to be doing a reaction video. It is time and time that we're going to be reacting to a video that is going to be a rap battle. And yes, this will be 3 of 3. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. So like always and likewise, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And also, by the way, I actually wanted to say something before we continue along with this video here. Is please be sure to do these 4 things before we continue right along. Is like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys will not, and I mean will not, miss a single video that comes onto this channel. So, hopefully so, that I am myself am Golden Devin-Foxy remastered again, and I'm going to be reacting to is Little Mac versus Big Mac rap battle and bonus episode. Man, isn't that gonna be funny? Like a boxer taking on taking on against a food. Like, it's so funny. I'm laughing a little bit that I find this name a bit funny. Just kind of laughing to the way when it says, like, Big Mac versus Little Mac. Like, this is so hilarious a little bit that it's just always about talking about how the name is funny, which, I'm not saying the insult is going to be a bit critical, but I think it's just a little bit funny by witnessing something like that. It's just like, man, imagine how a boxer takes on literally a cheeseburger of a food. Oh, man. That's all I just wanted to say, just for a joke and just for some laughs, just for some laughs, and that's all I'm saying. Not just to do the insult and stuff, but, just being wise like a person that always would be. So, pretty much. And also, just want to let you guys know about the collection of the video, by the way, of all in threes, by the way, coming together in 3, by actually me doing a one more review one last time, and then that's when I might pretty much finish the review exactly. And yeah, that's pretty much what I would want to point out exactly. That, after when I finish the review and stuff, then guess it will be time just to probably continue right along with 5 fights at Freddy at 5 fights at Freddy's, by the way. That, once I just have that ready, then I'll just have it ready. So for those who are excited for me to play 5 fights at Freddy's, that, yeah, I think it's going to be about an interesting time to play it, just for a little bit of some kicks a little bit and just see how the game is. And, just to refresh everybody's bit of memory, which, oh yeah, that refreshment of memories are going to be a bit very interesting to the memories of memories, which I'm so going to love remembering all of that again. And just enjoying a bit of, like, the nights at the fights a little bit between, like, 5 sim characters that were from the very first previous characters from the first game that, that were represented of the first game. And of course, I know that there's going to be a puppet jump scare at some point that you might see that soon enough, just to refresh a little bit of that memory. But, at least that's going to be fair enough. And also, just want to let you guys also know, by the way, is that Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, by the way, is going to be next, also as well, which will still be placed on the table by any chance that, oh yes, that game, by the way, is going to be ready. It's going to be full of stuff, tasks, other stuff, and pretty much more that, that I have to say. That's going to be very interesting to practice and very interesting to do of every other nights, which, oh yeah, the second king of Five Nights at Freddy's will still come right on back and deal with the rest of everything else that I might have to upper hand myself and definitely try to survive each other nights and task like always. So that's all I wanted to mention about, and that's all I wanted to say. So thank you guys so much for waiting, and fully, again, lightly appreciated. So anyways, I guess it's time right now that we're going to react to this video called Little Mac, or should I say, yeah, Little Mac versus Big Mac. Yeah. I'm saying Little Mac, by the way. I almost got the naming corrected, but I said Little Mac at the time. So, anyway, that being said, who's gonna win? And I wonder who's gonna win in this bonus episode. Yeah, bonus episode. But anyway, without further ado, folks and ladies and gentlemen, it is time we shall begin this video. And please remember to do these things: is subscribe to the original person, original creator, and support its original video, and for much more. So that way, again, you don't miss a single video that comes onto this channel. And like always, so anyway, with that being that said, let's continue, and I'll pretty much talk a little bit more in the end. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Like always and usual. So let's go. All right.
Little Mac.
Okay.
Big Mac.
Damn.
Doctor, know you really want me working on my bunch, but it didn't think you meant this when he said take out my lunch. I'm not offering cheap shots, but I'll be looking at his bill. You can call me George Foreman, cause I'm going for the grill. You have some history with competitors and offers, so we'll give this double petty with my own what to offer. Senior marketing says you're gonna size up. Now additional combos without the fries and cups. I've already sent meat heads down in the ring. Right on the only clown that just stopping gets the king. Heavyweight skated murdered off their feet, lay low. Bronx Bruiser eating burgers, that's a BKO. McDonald and comparator is scooping out the kids, but I guess this burger's only going ham and it's a pig. Your recipe's the only thing that I could be afraid of. They named the pony after you, cause that's a shit tomato.
Oh please, you should know that I'm packing all beef. Eat these, open sesame and load up on my seat. Check the sheet, I'm serving billions, flavors enticing. Now I'm serving up knockouts on the mic like I'm Tyson. If you
Damn! I love this roast when he said that Big Mac is the new Mike Tyson. Oh, there's no way I find this funny a little bit on this line. But yeah, I mean, some lines are funny, but let's continue on along.
Tennessee, your career would tick fast. When say y'all can hit smash, retro knick-knacks. They call me the Big Mac, cause I lay at that critter. Well, there's more than one reason why they're calling you little. Oh, snap, try to come back, but I've seen your A game. You can't recover from that. Once was the underdog, oh, the rookie so fearless. Now you're getting pummeled to the bottom of the tier list. I'm already stacked, don't even try to top me. Put my name up for your super move, cause all you do is copy. Reversing up, I'm Rocky, and I'm switching his seats out. Cause it's a cold-ass me that's giving you the beat down.
Don't think I've slipped up, I'm all over the counters. To ghost in the menu, I'll show you a pounder. Your gross like your bathrooms, filled up with crap like the people that we you. You couldn't run a track.
Well, I'm not the one in this battle getting EM. Call your little MacBook, you're getting so overheated. I'm like your trainer on a bike, cause you're trailing behind me. Since we finished with this fight, kiss my buns and bite me.
Damn. Seriously. Man, this thing was good. Really. This entire thing was good. Damn, bro. Seriously. Damn. Man, bravo. Really. Bravo. Bravo, man. Seriously. Bravo. That was actually pretty good. Very good video. And all of it, that was actually pretty good. Yeah, that was actually pretty damn good, man. Like, for once, by the way, all I wanted to say here at the end of the video here, exactly at least, well, you know, at least I only wanted to say by many reasons here, is that by any chances, hopefully you guys, in fact, absolutely enjoy the video. And like always, please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys absolutely will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And I'm like, man, this video, like I said, I want to point out a few things, is just freaking badass. And I wonder why that was actually a pretty good video. I'm like, damn, this video was actually freaking good. Like, I wonder, I find this so funny a little bit between scenes like, oh, a boxer is taking on a piece of food that is literally a burger that is named to be a Big Mac at this point. Like, who do I think who won this video here? A little bit between whoever wins. Like, is it a boxer that is named Little Mac, or the one from McDonald's for a Big Mac? Well, for those, by the way, for people who probably would or would tell me by any chance by saying like, oh, have you tried a Big Mac? The answer is that no, I recently never even tried a Big Mac, but if I did, well, that would have been a whole different story and that would have been a whole different opinion. But, since I'm just trying to actually figure out a little differently at this point and say is like, yeah, I think I'm good. A little bit. I think I'm good. At some points, I'd probably say is like, yeah, I'm good. I've pretty much rather tried the regular hamburger at this point. Just rather just like try something a little bit the same as usual. But at least I never tried some other things before. But at least I'm just still gonna say again. At least I tried some other points, at least a little bit. But not to criticize and nothing. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say here of this video. So please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe to the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And all I wanted to say, folks, is thank you guys again for watching this video. Totally, once again, and appreciate it. And like always, and very wise and respectful. Totally appreciate it. So, anyway, all I wanted to say that this is definitely 3 of 3 of the reaction videos so far. Since I'm going to pretty much be going for is the next game I'm going to consider to be playing is Fighter to Freddy's Help Wanted. After pretty much 5 fights at Freddy's will probably be done. Since I'm going to probably do part 1 all the way to 5 a little bit and just have the characters finished, just plain and simple and just doing like usual and just spend a bit of my time while playing a bit of that interesting game for a little bit of old refreshing memory just to play it. And for those, by the way, I wanted to mention too, by the way, in the only YouTube shorts I decided to do, by the way, was that, well, I did said about the $1 million question that, oh yeah, the $1 million question would have been by saying is like, with like, money with no friends or friends with no money. Which, by the way, I'm just saying is only for the question by saying it's only by 2 comparisons for those, by the way, for people to understand, by the way, is that would you rather have money without friends? Or would you rather have friends without money? Which also, it's just a $1 million question, by the way, so don't be offended if I said it's just a $1 million question, which, it is just only a question only about saying like, would you rather take which side you prefer to take? Which, by the way, I did mention that I prefer taking, the second part, friends over money. Which, by the way, don't get me wrong, money has always been important, so hopefully for those who understand about this question wisely and carefully as I did place to say, by the way, like no offense, I just say is like, I prefer having friends without money. Because money's alright and all, which I say it's okay, but it's just a bit of a question I probably would have never came across to saying this question, not just to say anything offensive or anything, which technically I never say anything offensive if I were to say something of a bit of a much of a different question, which I never do at this point. I'm just saying is like, would you rather take the first question or take the last question? So that's all I wanted to say, and pretty much. And also, by the way, let me explain about the other YouTube short. By the way, I also want to point out, by the way, is that I almost lost a good friend. Since, like I said, by the way, I didn't say last name. I only said first because I think if I ever did say the last name, by the way, I probably would be in big trouble if I were to say that. By the way, since I wanted to be aware of my words just carefully with my words, since, well, by any chance, I just wanted to be careful with my words anyway, and just say my only option at this point, and just be careful of what I have to say, since I wanted to be wise and carefully, and just say that, by the way. So, pretty much. And, hopefully, like I said, once again, by the way, is hope that you guys understand what I'm talking about and mentioning what I'm saying by any chance, by me mentioning about like, oh, the YouTube shorts of 2 YouTube shorts I made. So hopefully for those who understand this question is a little bit more to understand it. So hopefully for anybody else out there to understand the question by saying is like, would you rather have money without friends? Or would you have friends without money? Which, by the way, I'd still say I'd rather prefer friends over money, because the reason why I say that second part, by the way, it's just because I'd rather spend time with friends, by the way, by any chance, and just hang out with them, go do stuff with them, and just have fun with them. Just to do something a bit realistic and a little bit fun, and just enjoy entertainment for once, and just feel free and enjoy the outside life, and of course maybe a bit of inside life too. That's all I'm just saying, by the way. For those who pretty much have a heart a little bit like I have a little bit, then I pretty much would rather have fun with friends. Honestly, just very respectful and honestly. So that's all I wanted to say, and that's all I wanted to say. And also, by the way, let me say this other part, by the way, is that no, I was not actually raised for money by any chance. I pretty much would rather just be raised for friends, because I preferred saying friends over money, is because I'm not some kind of like, oh, some kind of rich person. That would be like a reference of me saying if I was Mr. Goodman by saying it was like, ew, poor! Like, seriously. That, by the way, I know it's still funny by when Mr. Goodman says that line. It's always a bit funny when I laugh to it, because I think it's just a funny reference a little bit by him saying that word. It's just a bit hilarious. Which, to be fully honest and respectful, that I think it's a bit funny when Mr. Goodman says it, because I think it's funny and hilarious at the same time. So, yeah, that's all I think. It's funny, and that's all I have to say. It's how funny it is. So there you go. And let me just say back on the other line, by the way, here is just let me jump to the next one here. Is that if I ever was rich, by the way, if I ever was by any chance, then yes, I would have had money, which I would have been very much likely the medium, not small, medium. Which, by the way, I pretty much would be medium wealthy. If I ever were to be rich, by the way, which I could say if I were to be rich, which I'm not saying it could happen now, but I'm just saying it could happen in an alternative route in an after turn, I guess. So, what I wanted to say, by the way, if I were to be medium sized, wealthy, rich, then I would have money. But the answer is that no, I don't have money. Because if I were to have money, that would have happened in a different time by now. So all I want to say is that it probably still wouldn't happen, which I'm just making my words a bit carefully and a bit wisely, as I'm trying to say without my words being incorrected at most likely. Since I just have to be careful sometimes, whenever I have brain glitches, I just always have to prevent it, so that way it just doesn't just autocorrect itself. Or maybe incorrect it itself. But, that's all I wanted to say, and that's all I wanted to point out here and there. So, thank you. Anyway, that's all I wanted to point out, and that's all I wanted to say, and just give my opinion, what I have to say my opinion was about. So for those, by the way, who definitely want to understand that I'm just what I'm talking about, then I hope that you guys enjoy this understanding. And of course, let me just say this, by the way, about the other YouTube short that I'm also going to mention too in this video, is that let me just say this at the end, by the way, is that I almost did lost a very good friend. When I say almost, it means a bit almost. As I'm just trying to say that, I'm just trying to say I'm at the side of the middle by saying as I almost and not almost lost a friend. Which I know 100 is 100 of the title, I understand. 100 is 100, I understand. I couldn't fit any more title names in there anyway, because due to 100 anyway. So let me say this, that here's the side that I actually want to propose from both sides anyway, by saying is the one on left. So let me just say this right here, is that let me say this for a second. So let me say this, and don't worry, there was a fly going around on my laptop, so don't worry, I had to get rid of it. So let me say this. Alright, now here's the first one I want to mention. And sorry, pardon me. Sorry if I just have a bit of a cough, but I'm just still okay. I'm just still okay. I just have a bit of a somewhat of a cough. So let me just say this for instance. Alright. So let me say this on two different occasions and two different things. Okay. So here we go. So two different things I actually want to point out, by the way, is the side on the left. So here's what I can say on the side of the left. Okay, so God damn it, hold on, I'm just trying to do this for a minute. I'm just gonna do this for a minute. There you go, there you go, and yep, I'm gonna just do this. There you go, and then I might fix that later. So here's what I'm gonna say on the first part. Okay, so that way it just doesn't keep appearing up again. So here's what I'm gonna say is that here's the first one I want to mention here. So the first one I want to mention, by the way, is that I would say is that I almost lost a good friend. So apparently, I want to say and make this possible as I can without triggering my words again. Is that here's what I want to say, respectfully and honestly, is to just say is that I want to pretty much say this independently. By the way, just being independently and say this, by the way, is I almost did lost a friend, since I ever met the person, very wisely and very amazingly ever since middle school. So here's a story I want to mention for some people, for those who probably would care or wouldn't care at all, because I mean, for me, I actually do care. Because, I at least do care about the person, because at least I was respectful to the person, and at least I had a bit of good reasons with the person. So here's what I want to say, and this is just a bit short, this is just a bit short, not long, but just short. So here's a bit of a story I wanted to say, by the way, that I knew a person, for a very long time, in a very long time of good responding and caring, that I've actually met the person and I did get along with the person, which, by the way, that's all I wanted to say, that yes, by the way, I did get along with a person and actually cared, and have a bit of very amount of heart and very good care in my soul for the person, just as in a friend's way, nothing else more than just friends. So here's what I'm going to say, that all I want to say, by the way, is that the friend's person's name was Amir. That I actually wanted to say, by the way, is that I actually think to say that he was a very good friend. I actually give my loyalty and respect to my friend. That I almost did lost a friend because, well, somehow, by the way, that I know by any chance, I'm not going to say too big or too little, that, I'm not going to say anything big or anything. I'm just saying this is just only not a. This is just not deep, by the way. This is just not even that deep anyway to begin with. I'm just saying is that, I'm just trying to respect the person carefully and not make it a whole big ruckus or a big deal anyways. I'm not trying to make this a whole big deal or anything. But, I did care about the person. Like, we went to go do stuff together as friends. We pretty much would go do, like, challenge each other in arcades and just have fun, like, rational human beings do, like friends. So I almost did lost a friend because, the person didn't really like responded to me a little bit, from like the present a little bit, just from like almost the near end of 2025 a little bit. I'm just talking about the end cycle of 2025 to come to be finished before 2026 opens in a little bit of the gateway for 2026 to kind of open itself and just make it another new year of 2026. So here's what my words would say, as if I was a respectful person and a friend. So here's what I want to say at this entire thing is that I almost did lost a friend once, that I actually did care, by the way, and just had a bit of like respectful and bit of understandings with the person, that I did had a bit of good reason and heart, that I actually cared about the person, that we were just talking back and forward, and it was just something that I don't know why, for some other reason, that I never got any replies back from the person anymore. It just it just really makes things a little bit difficult with me, because my life had to be a bit difficult and my life had to be a bit harder for me to respond back to the person, which, I have nothing to hate and I have nothing against to hate the person. I'm just saying is that I actually would be rather be respected appreciatedly for what a good friend should do, by the way, is always respond back to the person, even if it means that the person should just like immediately just like have their phone with them by the way, and just reply back to the person. Because I mean, for my instance, by the way, with experience with friends, by the way, I just wanted to say this, by the way, even if it's outside, by the way, I just wanted to say and give it a little advice, by the way, is always have your phone next to you. Always, every time, whenever you text the person back or maybe call the person back, like, this isn't a big deal or a big nothing or a big uh-oh or anything. This is just a bit of like a small opinion talk, that this is just only small. That's it. Nothing big or large. It's just small. So what I'm just saying, by the way, if I were a person and if I were somebody's friend, I probably would have the phone next to the person, even if it means to look at it quick and look at it before, like, doing back the job a little bit and just go like back to the job a little bit and then take a look at it, if it's pretty much job or a bit busy at some point. So that's all I wanted to say, and I get it, by the way. I completely understand. Jobs are important. I understand that. But, maybe just like respond back to a friend a little bit and just say, like, yeah, I'm a little busy. How about we could just talk about it before I'm just finished my job? That way, the person could instantly respond. So, this is just a bit of an understanding, clear statement a little bit for those, by the way, that, oh, I'm just bringing a little bit more video time. Well, sorry if I have to bring video time just because I'm just making a bit of, like, explanations. I'm just putting them and explaining them. Doesn't really mean that I'm not trying to be the guy that's just trying to, like, oh, I'm here for, like, the long video segments. Well, no worries about it. There probably would be not any longer ones until I finish the entire video. Alright, sorry, I'm just trying to breathe a little bit before I can just not try to have a hard time for breathing. So, there you go. And that's all I wanted to say, and that's all I wanted to point out for a little bit. And, alright. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. And also, okay, who won the video? Or should I say who won at the end of the day? Let's just say who won, by the way. Okay, so who won, by the way? Let me just go ahead and make this statement, and clear likely a statement is that, let me go ahead and say this video. Alright, so who won, by the way? Was it Little Mac or Big Mac? Okay, so for who won, by the way, I think the only one who did win, by the way, in the first round was Little Mac. I think Little Mac actually was trying to, like, win this one, I think. I think Little Mac actually did pretty impressive in the first round, until Big Mac, on the other hand, came out for a good smacker that he mentioned Mike Tyson, which was also funny for me to laugh at, which I think was like, damn, he brought up Mike Tyson. Seriously, though, that was actually pretty dope and pretty interesting that he made that roast, so damn. I'm like, damn, the dude really mentioned Mike Tyson in this one. Like, holy shit, the dude mentioned Mike Tyson. And then, the only one who won the last round was obviously Big Mac. Sorry, Little Mac. I think Big Mac probably won this one, since I think it was obviously at the end that, bro, he was literally gonna win. Obviously, I know a food only wanted beat Little Mac, which, I mean, this is just only by guessing a little bit by who won officially, by seeing who actually won. Like, was it Little Mac or Big Mac? I think obviously that Big Mac did win this one, apparently, which I think was that, yeah, I think he kind of won a little bit, because I think he made a bit of roast just a little bit, just because he made a few bit of, come back a little bit against Little Mac, because I think the chances was that, yeah, I think this was just a little bit interesting for him to kind of win, which I know this is a bit of an over and under related question, by seeing two opinions, by saying is like, oh, this entire thing was overrelated versus underrelated, which I think this entire thing was only interesting anyway, because I think more reasons to come to why that Big Mac actually won this battle than Little Mac did was because he thrown a little bit more similar punches right back to his face a little bit with some roast that he said at him. But, for some people who can say Little Mac won this one, then please tell me to say that, oh, prove me wrong if he actually won this one, or maybe prove me that I wasn't wrong, by saying who actually tried to win the most in the entire rap battle, which was supposed to probably kind of, you know, just with the roast kind, with the words, what they're talking about. So, anyway, that's all I'm just saying. And hopefully, all I wanted to say, by the way, is I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And please be sure, by the way, is do these 4 things, by the way, before we wrap this video up, by the way, is please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys absolutely will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. So that way that you guys, again, will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And let me just go back to the topic, by the way, is let me say this. Just between with me and a friend that I'm just trying to, like, negotiate and trying to, like, have a bit of a communication with the person, by the way, that I'm just wanting to have a conversation just with Amir, with my friend, just only outside, with myself outside of YouTube, that I just wanted to say, by the way, is that sometimes I always want to say this question a little bit with myself, is that sometimes I always would be out there a little bit and just talk with some friends of mine that I actually do recently talk with a little bit, just privately with myself, that, it's just not a big deal or anything. It's just, small talk and small talk from there and there. That's all I wanted to say. And for much more questions, is that yeah, at some points I'm kind of at the middle a little bit, trying to, like, see how everything is doing and knowing what's going on. And also, by the way, my friend, by the way, hasn't ever responded on to Xbox, almost like, I don't know, I think it's like either a guess I'm gonna make a little bit between the days, since I think it was kind of like 134 days or 135 days without responding on the Xbox, and I'm like, no way. Like, what? Like, I don't get why sometimes that I've been trying to kind of respond to the person, by many reasons, as I wanted to say this, by the way, is that, well, I just wanted to say, by the way, whatever a good friend does, that a good friend would always do, by the way, is always respond back to the person by choice and by reason, because I do care, by the way, and have a very good heart to the person to understand that I at least try to be a bit responsive to the person, and at least I do at least care, about my friendship with the person, because I do actually give a care about it. So, what I wanted to say, by the way, is that, yeah, so I'm just trying to, try to, like, not keep talking too fast, because due to a little bit of me talking a little bit different. So, here's what I'm going to say, by the way, is that, two, or maybe three at this point, is that, hopefully that me and Amir can be friends again, and I hope that me and him could actually start talking again, because I do actually care about the person, because I do care about my friendship with the person, because I know the person did, like, apologize to me for some reason for not responding, because it just was a little bit hard for me to understand a little bit, because I have actually wanted to say that I actually give my time and energy wisely and carefully as I do that, because I just wanted to say that I do care about my friendship with a person for that so long, that I actually do care about the person, as friends, as I actually wanted to put it. So, for those who probably may have lost a friend, then please tell me in the comments, by the way, then I can probably instantly help you with that. For those who may have, like, had lost a friend once, or maybe haven't or had lost a friend, which, by the way, for me, I'm kind of at the middle at this point, by saying is like, like, I just really wanted to say, hopefully, that for me, that things can be just the way it was again, and the things that it was like the way it was again, and fixed everything, and just make it up to the person, and just fully directly, like, just say is like how we're gonna do this, and how we are gonna, like, rebuild our friendship and trust again. That's all I wanted to say. So, anyway, sorry if I had to make this like a long video, like near 36 minutes or near like 37 minutes at this point, which I know it's not at that anyway. But I just wanted to make this clear as I can and possibly as I can, which I might end this video in 36 or 37 minutes of this video. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, and that's all I wanted to make my discussion about, and make this an explanation just for the people to understand, for those who haven't, like, understand what I was talking about, for those who probably would, like, not get the right info. It's just that I'm saying is that, this is just involved around with me a little bit. This is just a little bit involvement, a little bit with me, just because I just, like, wanted to kind of, like, make this negotiation a little bit and just say is that, I just wanted, like, you know, good people to always respond back to their friend, because a person would always have their phone next to each other every single day and always respond back to the person. Just not saying it in a mean spirited way. I'm just saying is like, at least try to respond back to me as I can before I can receive as I can. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say, and thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe to the bell to be notified. And I will say is that, what do I rate this video out of? Oh man, I rate this video more of an 8 out of 10 because I think this video was probably good, and I know this was like kind of an unrelated question between, a boxer versus McDonald's that had to do with a Big Mac versus a small Mac situation in a rap battle, which was also funny in a way that I'd never seen. That entire thing was funny, but hey, I mean, if it was funny, then it was funny. So, anyway, that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to say this again is please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe to the bell to be notified. And for real, by the way, I'm definitely going to get going and totally sign off and sign out. So with that being said, thanks guys for watching, and this is definitely 3 of 3 of the reaction video. And also, I'll just say this, by the way, from my knowledge, is that, once I do regain a little bit of friendship, a little bit with the person again, that I once knew in middle school, then me and him could, like, have a negotiation and talk about it, since, I'm trying to be a good friend, not a bad friend would do. I just want to be a good friend, what a good friend would do, and always would do. So, that's all I wanted to say, and that's all I wanted to say at this point, and just make a discussion and just talk about it, because I know this is just in the middle scenario, just in the middle. So, anyways, with that being said, I'm going to get going. And don't forget, by the way, that the collection is going to be next with 3 in together, by the way. Not separated, but in together. With all 3 together in the thumbnail. That I'm going to be preparing to have that ready. And also, 5 Fights at Freddy's is also going to be commenced and also will be ready. So, without that being said, thank you guys for watching. And I know this is past 37 minutes, but I'm just going to end this video anyways, entirely for real right now. So, with that being said, thanks again for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys soon enough, absolutely, in the next video. So, take care, everyone. Have a good day. Have an amazing day. And in fact, I'll see you guys soon enough, absolutely, in the next video. So, thanks for watching. Sign off. Peace out, and I'll see you guys soon and later, absolutely, in the next video. Bye-bye now. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone, and see you later. And signing on out. Bye-bye, everyone, and see you later, and sign off. Goodbye, and thanks for watching. Adios, and sign off. Bye-bye, everyone. See you later, and goodbye.